electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Hey, conductor! How about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorite.
My kid heard that solo!
You saying I did it?
Yeah,
Come on! What's wrong with you?
Being a man used to be simpler. You guard the cave, provide sustenance, honor thy name. A handshake sealed the deal, and a word was a promise. Today, things are a bit more complicated. We try to impress people we don't know by acquiring things we don't need. We have friends lists, but few real friendships. Things like integrity and kindness have fallen by the wayside. How can we know if we measure up when the scale is constantly changing? The Freemasons believe that a man's job is to be the best version of himself possible, to pursue truth and self-discovery. We give more and take less. We connect with our fellow man so that we may learn from each other, to challenge one another to live up to our highest ideals. We believe a man should be judged by his strength of character, his willingness to make sacrifices to improve both himself and the lives of those around him. For hundreds of years, the Freemasons have helped men find more meaning, to make connections with other men in a way that truly matters. For those seeking a deeper sense of purpose, a chance to make lasting friendships. To reach higher. To find more.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
And a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Indiana High School Volleyball on IndianaSRN in conjunction with the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Tonight, we are on the campus of Heritage Christian High School inside the gymnasium at Heritage Christian, where the Eagles, 1-7 on the season, welcome in the 3-3 Herron Achaeans. Located in downtown Indianapolis is the campus of Herron High School. They are, like we mentioned, 3-3 on the season, but 6-17 a year ago. They return just 4 players from their roster from a season ago, but the good news is in that regard, one of those players in Lydia Lindvall had the second most assists on the team last year. So a couple different playmakers alive for the Herons in their active roster from a year ago, but it was a rough campaign for them. They're staring the season, we mentioned, at 500, trying to go above 500 tonight against the Eagles. Meanwhile, on the other side of things for Heritage Christian, we've talked about it all season long. This is an Eagles team that while they are searching for their identity, they're searching for consistency, being removed, 1 year removed, I should say, from a run to the semi-state and 2 years removed from a state championship. About 7 seniors lost last year. They are trying to find their footing with that 1-7 record, hoping to get their second win of the season against Herron tonight. Hi again, everybody. Jimmy Cook alongside my partner this evening, Eric Eaton. And Eric, you look at both these teams. We talked about it a little bit off air before our pregame show got started tonight. A lot of errors on both sides. You can make the argument Herron is also trying to find their identity as well, even though they do have 2 more wins on the season than the Eagles do. But both these teams in early season struggles, trying to find their footing, hoping to get back on track tonight.
Well, that's right, and I think that perhaps if you look at their most recent matches, I think that perhaps they might be starting to get on track a little bit. As we start with Heritage, we had the matches for you earlier this week, and against Tri-West, here at home. They took a very good Bruin team. They lost in 3 sets in that one, but I think the score in the first set was 27-25. Played them right there.
They're right there.
And then and perhaps they got their heads down a little bit after that close first set loss, and then Tri-West was able to win that in 3. And then a couple of nights ago over at Covenant Christian, they played the Warriors to a tough 4-set match there. Particularly the one that they won was a 33-31 win in the third set. So they were able to dig down and got some great play in that particular set and won that in that set against Covenant Christian. They ended up falling in 5. So they're showing some strides getting on track. And I think if you look at the other side for Herron and Coach White, they had a nice 5-set win earlier this week against Sheridan, and those were some tough sets as well. Most of them were decided by just a couple of points. So that's going to be the key is for both of these clubs is can they, when they get in these close matches against even competition, can they get over the hump and win those close sets?
That'll be some of the storylines we're tracking all night long. We're going to step away briefly. When we come back, we'll have keys to the game and more. You're watching Indiana High School Volleyball on IndianaSRN.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. His land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
Jimmy Cook and Eric Eaton back here at Heritage Christian High School for Heritage Christian against Herron. Eagles looking for their second win of the season. Herron looking to go for their 4th win on the campaign. Let's take a look quickly at keys to the game for both sides. Eric has those.
Well, let's start first with Herron, as Jimmy said, they come in at 3-3 on the season. They need to avoid the errors here tonight. If you take a look at what they've done so far on the season, they have 87 attack errors, 54 serving errors, and as a result, they're only hitting 105 as a team and have a serve percentage of below 90%. So on the season, so those are 2 areas that they're going to have to try and shore up the errors here tonight. Get a consistent hitting attack and a serving attack here tonight against Heritage Christian. For Heritage Christian and Coach Kyla Thomas, also cut down on errors as well, particularly on the hitting side. As a team, they're hitting below 100 on the season. And then I want to see some consistency from the hitter's position from Schultz, Ward, and Winya tonight. Jimmy, those 3 were brilliant in the 3rd set the other night against Covenant Christian, helping them pull out that terrific 33-31 win in that set, but then seemed to disappear at other times in that match. So I want to see some consistency from those 3 from the hitting position.
Those are Eric's keys to the game. When we come back here in a moment, we will have opening service, and the action will get rolling between the Heritage Christian Eagles, again 1-7 on the campaign, and the Herron High School Achaeans sitting at 3-3 on the season. Again, a quick reminder before we step out, we'll have high school coverage for you all weekend long, volleyball tonight, and then high school football and soccer throughout the weekend. Stay with us. Herron versus Heritage Christian up next on IndianaSRN.
What's the number one misconception you think about Freemasonry?
Well, I think most people just think of Freemasonry as some kind of secret society, and you go with some of the rumors out there and so on, and they really don't understand who we are. They don't understand that we are a fraternity of brothers first, and our obligation is to take care of each other and our widows and orphans, etc., within our group. They don't understand what the fraternity part of Freemasonry really is, and that's the misconception that's out there. I think first and foremost of anyone that wants to join Freemasonry, I'd like them to know that it's really not a secret society. You may say it's a society with a secret because we have some handshakes and some passwords that you could easily find down in a library if you get the right book. Freemasonry is more, it's a brotherhood, it's a fraternity, it's a way of sharing common thoughts and everything with people of all different vocations that really understand of getting together on the level. Whether you're a judge or a police officer or a janitor, you're all on the same level when you're in a Masonic lodge room. And I think that's one of the greatest things, that you can sit with people of all vocations, but you have that certain thing in common, that you're all brothers.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
My kid earned that solo!
You saying I did?
Yeah!
Welcome back to Heritage Christian High School on the campus of Heritage Christian. Jimmy Cook alongside Eric Eaton for tonight's contest. Going through starting lineups on both sides between the Herron High School Achaeans and the Heritage Christian Eagles. Eric, we've talked about this, and this is the first time that you and I have worked together on a Heritage Christian broadcast, but focusing on the Eagles for a second. And we mentioned a little bit in pregame, but it is so tough to recover, particularly in this sport, from the loss of really 5 or more seniors. I mean, even when you lose 3, you're starting to worry, all right, who are we going to plug and play here and there? When you lose 7, you're asking so much of your team, especially going up a class, to still have the same consistency and, level of that high skill mentality you've been used to the last 2 or 3 years. When you look at this Heritage Christian club and looking from the numbers standpoint and the conversation we've had with Coach Thomas, where do you view their mindset and their growth? They're taking things game by game.
Well, I think what they have to do is and I think they're starting to do this, they've really got to kind of take it set by set, match by match, look for improvement in each set, each match, and I think we were seeing that here of late. But they do have 7 seniors on their roster this year, so that should help them a little bit with continuity as the season goes along. And it could be a situation where this team may come on strong here the middle to late part of the season as they get as these 7 seniors that did not play a lot in previous seasons start to get more experience as the season goes along. They also use 2 setters as well, and so all that just takes time to get acclimated.
We do want to remind you while we have a second, this broadcast is copyrighted by IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association for the private use of our audience. The use of pictures, videos, and audio without the express written permission of the IHSAA is prohibited. And again, if you want to get involved with broadcasts here on IndianaSRN, we're always looking for more ways to put young student athletes, whether it's our radio broadcast or our television broadcast, but on the airways across the globe. If you'd like to help with funding those broadcasts or sponsoring those broadcasts, give an email to the coach. He's at coach@IndianaSRN.org. Big sports weekend all across the board. High school football be in action all across Central Indiana tomorrow. You can find that full schedule on IndianaSRN.org. And, of course, follow IndianaSRN on Twitter at IndianaSRN for all the latest updates. Some final cheers and setups for tonight's contest as we await the first time we've seen, at least that I've seen, on the air this season for Heritage Christian, the black home uniforms being repped. On the other side for Herron, it'll be their gray unis with the white numerals. Opening service belongs to Katie McCloskey, the senior for Heritage Christian, to get us started off. And that's an ace right out of the gate. A little miscommunication on the back row there by the Achaeans. That's 1-0. First blood belongs to the Eagles.
Yeah, so right away, Herron with a breakdown communication-wise on the very opening serve gives an ace to Heritage Christian.
McCloskey overhand served, and that's slightly misplayed on the back row by Zinnerman. 2-0 Eagles.
So really good start here for Heritage Christian, starting the match with 2 aces. Let's see if they can keep it up.
McCloskey readies herself. That one is playable. Aggressive attack in front there by Love. Outside they go. Soft play in front of the net is won by the Eagles. Mixed in there was Bella Winya, as well as Caitlin Cook.
It looked like a ball handling, setting error, if you will, there for Herron, resulting in another Eagle point.
McCloskey serves to the back row. That one again, weak first touch. They're able to get away with it. Winya, her finesse shot, and that won't land in. It'll, unable to curve back inside on the hit by Zinnerman, 4-0. You look at Herron coming into this one. We mentioned they started the season losers of 3 of their first 4, running a 2-game win streak now, most recently against Sheridan back on Tuesday night. Another nice play in front of the net by Heritage Christian, and a 5-0 start. Arguably one of the best starts we've seen out of the Eagles all season.
A good strong serving here by McCloskey here to get it started.
Katie takes aim. One hit to get it over. The Achaeans do that. Fake to Winya. And might be contact in front of the net. Called against Herron. It's 6-0 Eagles.
Well, this is certainly exactly the start that Coach Thomas wanted to see from her club here tonight. Playing good volleyball to get this thing started. The key is now to keep their foot on the gas.
You've seen that be an issue at times. That one just found the inside line. Just past the 10-foot line there. Makes it 7-0 Eagles.
See how long Coach White elects to go before taking a timeout, because Herron has not started this match sharp.
10-0's my threshold, Eric. I don't know about you, but that's maybe even earlier than that. But 10-0 is probably time to go back to the drawing board. Aggressive take there by Thomas, but she puts it in the net. 8-0 Eagles.
Yeah, and we really haven't had the traditional set yet from Herron, and they had to go with a bump set there.
We'll take one as well. 8-0 is that target line for Herron. We'll be back after this.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Welcome back to live action. That was play in front of the net by Bella Winya. If you're just joining us, it's 9-0 Eagles. If you've been with us for the duration, you're not mistaken on your mobile device, computer, or television. Katie McCloskey still serving. She served to open this match, had a couple aces mixed in as well. Herron looking for their first point. They still don't have it. It's 10-0 Heritage Christian. Speaking of Herron, Eric, in our pregame prep, usually we're diving deep into players and all that, but Achaean is an interesting mascot, and I'll be honest, that my mythology is not what it once was back in the high school days, but what exactly is an Achaean?
No, mine isn't either, but an Achaean was an inhabitant of Achaean in ancient Greece, and in Greek mythology, an Achaean was a term used by, or is a term used by Homer in both the Iliad and the Odyssey for Mycenaean-era Greeks.
There you go. 11-0 Eagles, but again, I mean, I'll give Herron credit. You see some often tigers or bears, or I mean, it's unique.
Yep.
You cannot argue that it's unique. And that one is just out. So a point for the Eagles. They are rolling right now. 12-0. And again, this is not a knock on either side of the net. But when you look just statistically speaking at both these teams, I don't know if even Coach Thomas expected this great of a start by the Eagles. That's a block. Great play in front of the net by the Achaeans.
Great up there by the libero player for Herron.
Lindvall there with the dig. Winya tried to put it down. Another nice dig. One to get it over. They do. Well, they go to Winya again. They will. Opposite side. And she gets it down.
You take a look at Katie McCloskey right now serving to keep getting these serves in and one after another without an error. And not only is she doing that, she's transitioning to the front row then to set for this team.
Producer Ben, knock on wood, please, just real quick. If you're an Eagles faithful. We're good. We're good. Another ace. How about that? Yeah, you're right. I mean, you don't see that very often. You just don't, right? Like at any level, you don't see 14 straight serves. I didn't mean to open a match. I mean, period. Here's number 15. That's going to be a tough play. They bump it outside. And just mistimed there by Cook. So I'm glad they got the point before I said anything. I've never witnessed before a 25-0 game.
Yeah, I haven't either.
So that's off the table now. The Achaeans on the board. Can they turn it into something? No, it's in the net. 15-1 Eagles.
So we talked about in the open their serves. They've had some errors issued with serving this year, and their first opportunity to serve, they commit an error.
Not the start you wanted if you're Herron. Ward serves it to the back row. Zinnerman. That was slightly mistimed by Ward. Again, I'm not saying that you're going to expect this from the Eagles, but they've had unforced errors plague them a large portion of this season, much like the Achaeans have, hence why you figure this might be a closer, slower-paced game. It's just one set, but again, this huge margin just speaks to how much growth the Eagles have had over the course of this young season.
Yeah, that's a lot of concentration, and if they can keep their concentration up and avoid those errors here in this opening set, they can avoid Herron getting back into this opening set. But if they start to commit those errors, the Achaeans could sneak back in it.
Alona Thomas with her service. Received by Hickey. Winya puts it down once again. 16-2 Eagles. Well, we have a second. Key members of our IndianaSRN team. The coach, Keith, and his wife, Debbie, watching back at home. Shout out and tip of the cap to Debbie and Keith Myers. Hope they're enjoying their Thursday evening. Winya to serve. Bella's been such a bright spot on this Heritage Christian team. You saw flashes of it last year, but she's really stepped up when they've needed it throughout the season. Nice float shot by Schultz. One to get it over, and they do. And slight miscommunication there with Winya and DeVite. They kind of cross paths there. Winya will take a seat and sub out.
And then also the setter, McCloskey, thought that ball was going to end up going over the net. If she'd have been a little more aware, she could have actually hit that ball, dug that ball out of the net.
It's a 16-3, a 13-point advantage for the Eagles. See how they operate with Winya off the floor. Should be noted that no Maya Lowry this evening for the Eagles, so you're asking for players to step up big time in front of the net. And there's a nice step up by the senior, Inelena Schultz, makes it 17-3.
Yeah, big time kill there. Nothing that Herron could do on the dig there. They sent it sideways out of bounds.
Carly Minitel checks in. She'll have service. Kaylin Cook checks out, as does Katie McCloskey. Good minutes for both those young ladies. Minitel just a sophomore. And that's an ace. Good vibes all across the board for Heritage Christian. Like we said, a couple of errors have popped up here and there in this early set, but they lead it by a very impressive 15-point margin here in set number one. Carly finds the back row again. One to get it over, and they do. Little fake out, one paw on it. Nice dig there by Beatty, excuse me. Schultz, back row, finds it again. It's 19-3.
A couple of kills for Schultz there in the last three serves as we get another timeout on the floor.
We'll take one as well. Stay with us on IndianaSRN.
How does a good man become even better? By working out? Or by working his way up the corporate ladder? By changing his diet? Or by changing his style? traveling the world or by staying perfectly still. For 300 years, we've helped good men become the best versions of themselves through a dedicated fraternity and by taking an oath to live a life of integrity, service, and brotherly love. Men who are as committed to each other and their families as they are to our noble cause. In the end, we don't just make men better, we make them Masons. Not just a man, a Mason.
There's an ace by Carly Minitel while we were away. She continues her service. It's 20-3. We talk about those race to certain points throughout the match. Eagles win the race to 20. Commanding fashion, they lead by 17.
I think they have at least 6 aces so far in this match here in the opening set.
Schultz faked it and a little bump right in front of the net by Endress. Tough play, unable to be made by Kersey. 21-3 Eagles.
An overpass there, and Schultz just jumped up and put it away on the front row on the first contact, a one-timer kill for her.
Minitel sends it to the back row. Outside, Zinnerman. Went to Hickey there. Oh, what a pass, what a play. Worked out.
I'm not sure whether that was designed or not, but you don't see it very often where the libero player gets set in the back row. She's got to stay in the back row. She can hit, but she's got to hit from the back row, which she did.
Sometimes when you're on, you're on. Nice dive. That's tough action in front of the net. They'll go all the way outside to Endress, and she airmails it. Well, if you're looking for a bright spot, if you are a fan of the Achaeans, this was a 14-0 game. I understand it's a small sample size, but you're losing 8-4 since that span. So it's a closer gap than that early 14-0 run you saw in the beginning of this game.
Yeah, they need to get on a little bit of run here from the serving perspective. Let's see if they can start it right here. The Heritage did a nice job there on the reception.
Divide. Tough first touch for the Achaeans. They'll bump it over. See if they go Schultz. They do. Unable to get a clean spike on it. It's a long shot. 2 players there. Endress again. Blocked, but it's out. Makes it 23-4.
Looked like Endress might have mistimed her jump a little bit there, but it was hit out of bounds off the block, so Heritage gets the point anyway.
The junior getting heavy minutes so far. We would assume that's also in part, even though she is a regular rotation member, for the absence of Amaya Lowry, as that shot is airmailed to the right side, and now it's set point for Heritage Christian. 24-4. Endress. That might be an ace. Took a weird ricochet. How about the Achaeans? They get out of it. Cross-court shot is down. The line judge says in, and that's the set point. The officials concur. 25-4. Without a doubt, the most complete and the most dominant performance that we've seen from Heritage Christian so far this year.
Definitely, that's the case, and as we talked about in the pregame, is that I'd said I'd seen some progress from this team in the last couple matches based off of what I saw in person at Covenant Christian and looking at watching some of the IndianaSRN broadcasts of Monday night against Tri-West, and I kept saying if this team can put it all together, they're going to have an outstanding performance, and they're on their way here tonight. They've just got to keep it up. They've got 2 more sets to go.
As we both know, the record hasn't shown it so far this year, but it's a long, long season. Postseason's guaranteed across the board, regardless of your record, but you want to put pieces together, and you're exactly right, Eric. The strides have been there. Is it a complete performance? We'll find out in a little bit. Set number 2 upcoming after this, 25-4. Eagles over the Achaeans in set 1. Stay with us here on IndianaSRN.
You want a career that will transform your life while you change the lives of others by helping them live well. With a health or exercise sciences degree from IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences, you will gain an in-depth understanding of the healthcare industry while preparing you for a variety of graduate and professional programs in health. And with Indy as your classroom, you'll have clinical options within leading hospitals right in our backyard, as well as a degree from Indiana University, reputable leaders in the healthcare industry. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Welcome back to IndianaSRN's coverage of Indiana High School volleyball. Jimmy Cook alongside Eric Eaton getting ready for set number 2 in this best-of-5 set. Eagles take set number 1, 25-4. Let's look at adjustments, starting first with what I think would be the easy one, the Achaeans of Herron. What do you need to see from them in set 2, Eric?
Well, I think it starts with the serve reception, and they've had a difficult time receiving serves from Heritage Christian tonight, and they have not been able to get the ball cleanly to the setter to set up clean attacks, and so they've got to be able to do a better job of getting the serve receptions to the setter.
On the Heritage Christian side, I know it's usually keep doing what you're doing, but I need to, and I'm sure Coach Thomas feels the same way, I need to see, I'm not expecting them to win 25-4 every game the rest of the season, but I need to see this over the course of the whole match. Other than that, what else do you need to see from Heritage? Or do you think they're doing everything to this point?
I think they're doing pretty much what they wanted to accomplish coming into this. That as I talked about, I wanted to see some consistency from Schultz and Ward and Winya. Ward really hasn't had a presence going yet in this match, so maybe that's one thing they can try and work on here in the second set, start to get her going.
Opening service belongs to the Achaeans, and they open it with their first lead of the night, an ace served up by Molly Beatty. Achaeans draw first blood. Second serve is airmailed. Came close to that back line, but it makes it one apiece. Ward serves it, and it's an ace. Tough play there for Laney Stark. She had the net right in front of her and just led a tad too far in. The lead back to the Eagles just like that. AC Ward, the junior, serves it up again. That might be a second ace. No, a great play by the libero in Lindvall. They're able to get it over, and not only that, they win the point. Thought that might be too tough a play there for Abby Lindvall, which is able to track it down. Abby had the second most digs on the team last year. One of those 4 players that returned from a year ago. Cook, long. 3-2 Achaeans.
And that'll be one of the things that Coach Thomas will not want to see happen here in this second set, is for the team to start committing errors. They did a good job of that in the first set, not committing that many errors, and there was an attack error there.
Overhand serve. That was a tough play. The initial touch there by DeVite was led right in front of the net. Achaeans lead by 2.
And error there on the overpass. DeVite unable to get it to the setter.
Alona Thomas serves. Hickey receives. Outside. Great first touch by Endress. Or excuse me, kill attempt, I should say, by Endress. It's successful. They're back within 1. Belawinia now gets set to serve as Elena Schultz checks backs in. Winya, an ace. Just slightly misplayed by Thomas.
She had 3 kills in the opening set. This time she gets in the score column here in the second set with an ace.
Winya once again targets that back corner. 2 straight aces for Eagles regain the lead.
And that's pretty much been the plan serving tonight for Heritage Christian. They've been trying to serve deep into the back court, and Herron has had a tough time handling it so far.
Winya again targets that same spot. This time a solid dig by Thomas. One to get it over, and Love airmails it. Was it tipped, though? No, Herron begging for a tip. They say no.
Our up official, Michael Anderson, said no on the tip. One of the players for Herron's coming over to confer with him, and our down official here tonight is Stacy Hicks. She also says no on the tip, on the touch as well.
Okay, look, I understand you're supposed to be unbiased. I do. I understand that, but I have no idea how old the young girl is that's the line judge for Heritage Christian. She really going to stay on her home side that it's tipped? Look, that's tough. It's where you got to be. You got to put your conscience on the line there, Eric. I wouldn't. I'll come clean. I'd be no.
Yeah, I mean, it's line judge is a tough job.
You got to let the main officials make that call to me. If they're deferring to you, I'm like, no, they touch it. After a conference,
they are going to change it.
They are going to change it. I don't know if it was done by the officials. I don't know if Heritage Christian said something. I'm not sure. We're too high up from a vantage point to confirm. Either way, the Achaeans are happy, and they'll have service.
Let's be honest. I mean, Herron deserves a break so far.
Sure, you can't complain for that, no doubt. Particularly after that first set. It's a good point. London Love will serve. She was one of the Achaeans that were begging for that tipped call. That's into the net, however. And it's 6-5 Eagles with service belonging to Carly Minitel. Carly takes a couple dribbles with it. And she'll airmail that. Just a normal observational question, Eric, because you have been around the sport much longer than I have, particularly at this age level. How difficult is it to aim a serve like that to a particular section of the back row?
I mean, most of these
consistently,
these young ladies have had so much practice at it that in a tight game, in a big-time championship tight game, it may be difficult because the pressure's on. But in a normal situation through the flow of the match, it shouldn't be that difficult because they're going to practice this over and over and practice. And many of these young ladies play club volleyball in the offseason as well.
Airmailed there on the service. Both teams exchange serving errors, so it's 7-6 advantage Eagles, and an ace right there for Olivia Endress. I don't have a good cross-sport comparison for it, as there's a play made by Benjamin. Mariah Benjamin with the play. I guess the only thing I would compare it to is maybe shooting free throws in terms of something that you expect most to be able to do well is serving the ball over the net, serving it in play, or serving it to a specific spot.
Pretty good comparison. The only difference is obviously the basket stays in the set position the whole time. You're asking a server maybe to go one part to the floor on one serve, and then the next serve go another position.
Sure. 9-7 your score. Kendall Hickey, another key piece from the Eagles a year ago, gets an ace, does the libero. Kendall gives the Eagles their largest lead of this set at 3. It's 10-7. Hickey floats that one. Nice, soft, clean serve. That's airmailed by Thomas. 11-7. Hickey just such a nice, graceful service on her. Outside. Beatty sends it over. Winya called. They'll go Ward instead, and that's in the net.
An attack error there for the Eagles, and so Herron's hanging around a little bit here in this second set, just down by 3 right now. They're doing a better job of getting the ball to the setter and getting us some opportunities from some attacks, but still the majority of their points at this point are coming off of Heritage Christian errors.
And you'll take those points,
Yeah,
but in terms of your development, you're exactly right, Eric, or the development of the match, that's not what you want. You don't have to rely on that. Winya. Nice dig. It'll go out, though. Great effort. Giving up the body by Lindvall. But Winya just a step quicker on the initial hit. Makes it a 4-point lead. Some subs coming in. It'll be Katie McCloskey. Katie, major highlight of this game, started the game with 14 consecutive serves that led to points. And there's an ace right there for her. She can get another run like that going. Well, there's no guarantee,
Yeah,
but if she can, they'll be up 2-0 before you know it.
Yeah, dangerous time here for Herron because they couldn't solve her serve to start the match. So
the senior waits for the all clear. A little conference at the scorer's table. Now we're all good. Great set adjustment there by the Eagles. Beatty. Winya, tough play. Finds the corner on the right side. 14-8, Heritage Christian.
great bump set by McCloskey there to set up that kill. She set that. That ball was nearly underneath the net when she set that on the bump set.
Heck of a play. McCloskey continues with serving honors. As the officials having a having to talk about with the student section. There's like 10 kids there. That one is airmailed by McCloskey.
This is actually the first time that I've had a chance to see a Heritage Christian volleyball match in this gymnasium. They were over in the elementary school when I did them last year.
Look at you.
Actually, I think they actually like the environment over there a little
bit better. It was more condensed. I did enjoy it. Now, I will say, as spoiled as I was able to be in here in 19 at the heyday time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was packed. Again, this is not to say anything on this Heritage Christian team. I assume more of it is the early start. In addition to that, the obviously ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. But either way, we're talking full-scale crowds. I don't hear a ton of noise from the student section there. There's maybe like 10 kids there, most of who appear to be soccer players or football players either way. We did. That's a good point. Our producer, the great Ben Wood, reminding us it was a pretty solid crowd even for a 6 o'clock start on a Monday.
They told me that this, I guess, that this gym was under renovation last year.
It was, yep. There's an ace. 17-9 Eagles. But yeah, I completely forgot about that. And it is where we're positioned in terms of Heritage Christian's parking lot. The high school's right there, but then the elementary school gymnasium's just still in the same parking lot, just a little walk over. That one's in the net by Ward after a couple strong serves. Makes it 17-9. But it's much better in terms of just overall atmosphere. I think anyway, visually speaking, being in the Bear Gymnasium.
Yeah.
However, you're right. There was something to it.
Ceiling very low over there.
Yes, oh yeah. I'll have a story here in a second. Is that slightly misplayed, but a great effort by Cook. Hickey gets it over. Kersey tracks that down. Hickey calls for it. Will they go Winya? No, they'll go outside instead. Andra, she found that corner. Nice play. 18-9. I went to Roncalli High School. It's my alma mater. And they've recently, in the last year or so, completed a full new gymnasium built there. Let's look at the highlight. Nice corner find by the Eagles. But before that, the woodshed, as it was called, look at the ceilings here. You can't really get a good angle at them from our camera point. But you shrink the ceilings down to probably by a good 10 or 15 feet, and that's where the ceilings were. So anytime you had a ball that was popped up, you're going to have a ricochet. Or from a basketball standpoint, you can't put any arc on a full court heave or half court. You're going to get sent right back down to you. That problem's since been fixed. It's more spacious, much like this one, as that one is out on the service by the Eagles. But you're exactly right. That was a hazard you had to deal with last year when they were in the elementary gym. London Love will serve for the Achaeans. They're still very much in this set. And that can't find the line. 20-10, advantage Eagles. They're 5 points away from taking a commanding 2-0 lead in this best of 5. And what a momentum turn that would be for this Eagles program. You want to close the deal, but it would continue a high-level, consistent, dominant performance from Heritage Christian. Opposite way, tough shot. Battle won by Kersey.
A nice attack there on the kill. They got it back in the corner. Effort made there by Hickey to try to get to the dig to no avail. So nice point there for Herron.
Another shout out from Coach Keith Myers, he brings up a comparison for what we were talking about with serving, and I brought up free throw shooting. He said archery. Good comparison. That's from the coach. Again, you take that how you will. Play in front of the net, and that's won by the Eagles. Nice play by Schultz. What do you think?
Well, I used to hunt deer archery and did do some practicing, but I was never successful in hunting down a deer with an arrow, but maybe it was because I never did any practicing. So
I've never picked up a legitimate bow and arrow in my life, so more power to you. Outside. Well, dug in by Minitel. Ward powered through the block and gets it to go down. Eagles are 3 points away from a 2-0 lead. Well, misdirection set. They'll go Ward's way one more time, and she found the corner again.
Yeah, nice kill there by Ward to paint the line in the back corner. Not a very good job of communication by Herron either. The players were calling that out.
Give credit to the line judge. I know we probably don't have a replay of that. Maybe we do. The line judge calls this a second before it's actually dropped. Got the flag down, tracked it the whole way. And Endress with an ace. Set point for Heritage Christian.
Yeah, Endress has had a nice presence here in this second set. I've got her unofficially with a couple aces and a couple kills here in this set.
This was 10-7. It's a 14-4 run for the Eagles since then. Make it a 15-4 run to close set number 2. 25-11. Another dominant performance from Heritage Christian. Give credit to Herron in terms of the early stages. They did not get overwhelmed early on. They stayed consistently with everything in the early to middle stages of that match. But once you got past the middle stages, Heritage Christian able to create enough opportunities for a commanding 14-point win in set 2.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, Jimmy. I did say that I had seen some progress from this Heritage Christian team coming into this match, but I did not expect the dominance we've seen so far tonight.
Neither did I, and Coach Thomas in that huddle hoping for one more perfect playing set for the second win of the season and one of the most promising starts to the turn of this campaign for Heritage Christian. Stay with us. We'll have what could be a deciding third set after this on IndianaSRN.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
This broadcast is copyrighted by IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association for the private use of our audience. The use of pictures, video, and audio without the express written permission of the IHSAA is prohibited. Alongside me, Eric Eaton, I am Jimmy Cook. So pleased you've chosen to spend part of your Thursday evening with us here on IndianaSRN. Heritage Christian leads 2-0, courtesy of 25-24 win in set 1 and 25-11 win in set 2. I want to remind you while we have a second, you can find your high school football coverage all tomorrow night on the IndianaSRN family of networks. A couple games or two Saturday as well. And additionally, some soccer broadcasts as well on the IndianaSRN family of networks. You can go on Twitter at IndianaSRN, or you could go to IndianaSRN.org. I'm laughing for two reasons. One, we have a clock malfunction. We're trying to fix that. And secondly, I'm not there, so I don't know the dialogue. But the student section we talked about earlier has been moved from the front row to the back row. I don't know if there's shenanigans going on. I have no idea. All I know is I've been a high schooler before. We joked about it off air. I've been a high schooler more recently than you. Making an example of them to move them back never helps solve the problem, but we'll see if that accomplishes that. Hijinks are hijinks. They're going to happen.
My guess is it was probably done by the administration or somebody to move them up there.
Probably. It's probably fair.
I talked about this a little bit the other night with Kurt is volleyball fans are extremely creative.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's for sure. We won't dive any deeper, but yeah, no doubt about that. As we go back into the match here, did you see enough improvements from Herron in that second set to warrant a little rally here from them tonight?
Yes and no. I mean, to me, they didn't have enough opportunities offensively to really make an impact against Heritage Christian in a set going forward. We'll see if that changes here. They did try to get their freshman, Beatty, a little more involved. They brought her into that match in the second set there, and she's been a pretty useful impact player at times this year for Herron, and we'll see if perhaps that they can get her involved a little bit more offensively, and if so, then they might be able to mount a little bit of an attack offensively. But again, as I talked about, the majority of their points so far are coming off of Heritage Christian errors.
It appears as though we have some clock malfunction they want to try to fix and repair, so we're going to step away briefly here on IndianaSRN. Stay with us. Electricity back for the scoreboard here on IndianaSRN. Got to reset everything else. They have that up now. The sets, 2-0. A little malfunction here at Heritage Christian, but the top-notch staff of the Heritage Christian Athletic Department on that, get that squared away, and we should be able to resume action momentarily. I'm Jimmy Cook, alongside me, Eric Eaton. Eric, I mentioned to you about Herron and the opportunities for them to maybe steal something here in set 3. Is it just more of the same, your expectations for Heritage Christian here in set 3?
I think so. I mean, Coach Thomas has got to say, let's just keep doing what we're doing so far. It's been successful to this point. Pretty much everybody that's played so far for Heritage Christian has made an impact here tonight, and if that continues, they're going to win this match.
Well, it was a dominant opening set where they scored the first 14 points. We mentioned that second set was much closer. It was a 3-point game at one point, tied 10-7, including a couple leads in there for Herron as well. After that 10-7 mark, however, it's a 15-4 run the rest of the way in set number 2 for the Eagles to get that victory. And ultimately, again, we'll have to see how this goes in set 3, but even if, let's say Heritage Christian, for the sake of argument, is a far better team than Herron. Let's just say that for the next statement, which is that even if they were a far better team, Heritage Christian has still made so many errors throughout the season that wouldn't matter. Like, you're still going to have opportunities and windows there unless you clean up those unforced errors. So far, 2 sets in, Heritage Christian has done that, hence the wide margin of victory they have so far.
And if you're Coach Herron and Diane White, you're saying, hey, are these percentages basically going to equal out here? Because Heritage Christian came in hitting under 100 as a team for the season. We got to hope that these percentages are going to even out a little bit.
Well, it's Katie McCloskey opening things up for the Eagles. We mentioned this a couple times in the broadcast, but she started with opening service in set 1. Her service led to the first 14 unanswered scored for Heritage Christian. She draws first blood here for the Eagles in set 3. They lead at 1-0. And that's going to be an ace. That hit off the backboard. It would have been a tough play for the Achaeans. 2-0 Eagles.
And McCloskey's got to be approaching double-figure aces here tonight.
What a performance it's been for her. Another ace. How do you reset yourself mentally, Eric, when you're on the back row like that? I mean, like you mentioned, they've been playing their whole lives for the most part. Like you understand how to make that play, but sometimes the server just has your number.
Yeah, that's the case. You just got to. It's all about willpower. You got to say that, well, I'm going to get this reception here to the setter.
Love cross court. Hickey's there. They'll go to Ward. She floats it. One to get it over. They do. Winya could not get up underneath it the way she wanted to. Drops down for a point for the Eagles. Their advantage grows to 4.
Macy Ward jumped up and put that one down there for Heritage Christian.
McCloskey's service continues. That's a tough play. Into the net. Beatty could not get underneath it. Ran out of real estate. 5-0 Eagles.
One of the things McCloskey does a great job of on their serves, it just seems like she's constantly forcing the Herron player to back up on those serves to take the reception.
One to get it over. That might have been out. Hickey had to make a tough play, and what an adjustment. McCloskey just kind of just gave it a little push, able to get it over the net and find an opening.
She knew that was going to be a tough set to do a traditional set there, so she just tipped it over on second contact there and got the kill. Here it is right here.
Well placed. McCloskey. That was a tough first touch. Great adjustment by the Achaeans. Ward sets it up. Love drops it down, but it's dug in nicely by Endress. And that was a tough diving stop for Lindvall. Tried to pancake it, could not. 7-0 Heritage Christian. McCloskey will continue her run. Already unofficially, I believe, at least 2 aces in this serving session alone. That'll be out. 8-0 Eagles, and a timeout taken same juncture it was called last time in set 1 by Herron on IndianaSRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Play in progress, and a point for the Achaeans. The run of points ends there at 8-0. Off service from Katie McCloskey. We'll see if the Achaeans have a little run in them.
Love got that kill off the block, and the Achaeans need to mount a rally right here. They're not going to start it here.
Nope, Beatty airmails it, and strangely enough, if I remember correctly, we're not going to be able to look it up in terms of the footage from the night, at least right now. It was a different juncture. I think they were up 10-0 at one point, or 14-0 at one point, but the change happened. They finally got that first point to the Achaeans in set 1, and immediately an unforced error into the net back in set 1. Same thing happens here in set number 3. Outside, Endress drops it down. 10-1 Heritage Christian.
Yeah, the net kind of took a little steam off the kill there by Endress, and it actually kind of fooled Herron on that, and she got the kill.
Usually when you go for a high-speed kill like that and you make contact with the net, it's not going to help you out. That time, like you mentioned, just took a complete change of direction that Herron wasn't ready for. That's airmailed. The lead now to 10. Largest lead of the game for Heritage Christian. Largest lead of the set, I should say, for Heritage Christian. Loft shot. Winya floats it and caught everybody napping.
Yeah, beautiful kill there. She went with the dink there, went across to her body, the opposite side of the net to put that dink kill down. Well, looks like they ended up calling a violation.
From our vantage point, I did not see what violation was called, but that is indeed what happens. It's 11-2 now. And an ace for Herron. Well, let's see if this ends up being a turning point, at least in this set for Herron. They're back within 8. Going to put together stretches of play we have not seen so far tonight, though. Amira Van Est serves to Hickey. Scholl getting her first minutes tonight. Gets a kill out of it.
Yeah, that would have not been my plan of attack there for Herron, was after you'd gotten that previous point was to serve it to Hickey, because you knew that she was going to get the ball cleanly to the setter for an attack.
Belowinya serves an ace. Ricocheted off of two Achaeans there from Linval and Van Est. Lead is 10, 13-3, matching their largest of the set. Belowinya continues her serving duties. Well timed by Scholl. She saw that looked like Herron in front of the net was kind of playing with her food, so to speak, and Scholl just plucked it out of the air and spiked it down for the kill.
That ball went way high up in the air, and Beatty just had to tip that over, and Scholl just put it away.
Winya. A little speed on that one. Outside blocked. It goes out, though. Point for Herron.
Good back set there by Beatty. Setting up the attacker there and getting the kill was Zinnerman.
Now serving belongs to Abby Linval. We mentioned one of the few players that were a part of the roster a year ago. Schultz had it blocked. And a violation called against the Eagles. They're going to say 4 hits. 14-5. Lindvall measures. Scholl. One to get it over. And it just strikes that divider. It's a high ceiling here, but there are still obstacles in your way. That makes it a 10-point lead, 15-5. Once again, matching the largest lead of the set. Summing out is Scholl. Minitel serving. One more chance to get it over. They do. Cross body. Finds an opening. Just misplayed a tad by Van Est. Lead is 11.
Hannah Cook in there setting now with a back set that time. I believe that was Schultz who put that away.
Good find there. Minitel continues serving. The Keans get it over. Endress into the net.
That time Heritage Christian unable to find Cook on the pass. The pass went to the back row to Hickey. She tried to make the set in the back row, but Endress hit it into the net.
Lydia Lindvall, sister of Abby, will serve. Tough play for Schultz. Just floats it in there and drops it down.
Timed her jump perfectly on that set right there and tipped it right down in the vacant area for the kill.
Macy Ward checks in. Debbie DeVite checks out. Serving is the junior in Olivia Endress. The lead is 11.
Good serve.
Lindvall Sends to the back row. Ward. It's found by Benjamin. Beatty. Now Ward took a ricochet off the net, and unable to get under it was Benjamin. 18-6, lead has grown to 12.
Heritage done a great job covering the short balls tonight with the dig. They've been in the positions that they needed to be for the most part, time after time here tonight, because Herron's, for the most part, their attacks have not been that powerful. They've been short attacks.
One to get it over. Man, that would have been a really tough play for Kersey. It hit two objects there. It hit the hit the air conditioning vents, and then it hit the backboard. 19-6 advantage by 13 for Heritage Christian. Stay with us.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need, we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Oh, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
Back at Heritage Christian High School here in set number 3, the Eagles of Heritage Christian serving. They lead it 2-0 are 6 points away from their first 3-game sweep of the season. As there's an ace served up by Endress. I say their first 3-game sweep of the season because those in-season tournaments you're doing best of 3s, and they defeated Decatur Central 2-0 just a few weeks ago, actually back on the 21st. That one's into the net by Endress.
Yeah, Heritage has yet to win a best out of 5 match this year.
Your way was much cleaner. It's good. I'm serious. I'm being genuine. That is much clearer. Outside. Well struck, and another point. Done a really good job in front of the net in particular tonight. Have the Eagles. Tomato, either way you put it. Coach Thomas very happy with getting that type of win, and particularly that type of consistent win from start to finish.
Yeah, I think that's the key. You know, they're going to get a win, but they're not winning ugly. By, as we mentioned, you know, Herron has cut down on the errors after that opening set. Heritage Christian is winning because they are executing here tonight.
Kendall Hickey. An ace, 23-7.
I'll tell you what, the serving by Hickey and McCloskey is incredible for the two individuals who keep it's one thing just to serve to get it into play.
Right.
They are serving to score points. They're going to different areas of the court each time.
That one off just a tad. So it's a point for the Achaeans. And it'll be serving duties for Abby Lindvall. Minitel in the net. Lindvall will still serve for Herron. And there's a nice kill right there by Ward, and it's match point 1 for Heritage Christian. I don't know where the rotation is. I was going to say, I don't know where the rotation is at, but it would be very fitting if it's Katie McCloskey to set up match point, and indeed that's how things worked out.
Might even be more fitting if it ends on an ace.
Exactly. Good point. Good point, Eric. It does. It ends on an ace for Katie McCloskey, the most complete performance of the season. For Coach Kyla Thomas and company, they win set 3, 25-9, and win the clean sweep 3-0, 25-4, 25-11, and 25-9 to improve to 2-7 on the season. But not only that, capture their first win in a best-of-5 on the season.
And we talked about in the Open as well. Let's not forget that they had one of their senior leaders out tonight in Amaya Lowry, too, and still had an outstanding performance.
When you look at what this matchup offered, I will be honest, when you look at how many errors both teams have committed throughout the season to this point, I wasn't sure if either team would be able to step up and have a dominant performance. In fact, I kind of anticipated or expected this to be a 4 or 5 set game, waiting for them to jockey for position for, okay, who's going to have the dominant hand, who's going to walk out of here with a win tonight. Did not expect this type of performance from Coach Thomas's group in the dominant fashion that they did. How do you build from this now, though? Because, right, that's the magic question for any coach. How do you bottle this up? It doesn't have to be a 16-point win every time, but how do you bottle up this confidence to continue that growth that she wants to see throughout the campaign?
Well, you would hope that, as we talked about, they have a lot of the senior leadership on this team. I believe 7 seniors. You'd hope now that they're going to take command of the team and say, hey, we're going to come out and we're going to play like this every match. If we play like this every match, we've got a chance to still have a very successful season.
On the Herron side of things, you had a nice win streak going on for the season. I think 2 straight actually coming into this one. That's now snapped. You got to go back and regroup. What type of improvements would you want to see from them? There's plenty of them from the film tonight. We've said that a lot about Heritage Christian this season, but there's plenty to build off of if you're the Achaeans going home tonight looking at this film.
Yeah, I think what they're going to have to work on is they're going to have to work on serve reception to begin with, and because they may have played the best opponent they faced all season in terms of serving here tonight with the Heritage Christian. I don't think there's anything question about that. It's probably the best serving team they've played all year. So they're going to work on serve reception and particularly getting the ball to the setter from deep serves in the back row, because let's be honest with you, teams now know how to serve Herron a little bit after watching Heritage Christian here tonight. So they're going to, the Herron next match is going to see a same serving effort, I would imagine. From
yeah,
their
you
opponent.
can't hide from that now that's on film. That is a great point. With the loss, Herron falls to 3-4 on the season. They'll next be in action Tuesday, neutral site contest against Greenwood Christian Academy. Meanwhile, Heritage Christian will also be in action on Tuesday when they travel to Bethesda Christian. Again, they are now 2-7 on the season. I want to remind you while we have a second that all of our high school football coverage and soccer coverage over the next couple of days, particularly Friday night, under the lights for high school football across the state of Indiana on IndianaSRN.org, and follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Any contributions you want to make, email Coach, that's Coach at IndianaSRN.org. Want to give a special shout out as well to Brennan doing a great job on the camera work. Matt and Ben doing a good job on the 1s and 2s. Also, thank you to Jerry Collins, Keith Myers, Debbie Myers as well. All their hard work throughout the season and for this game as well. For my partner, Eric Eaton, I'm Jimmy Cook. Again, our final in this one. Heritage Christian Eagles take care of business over the Herron Achaeans 3-0. And until we talk to you tomorrow for high school football across the state of Indiana, so long, everybody.